Hey everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So today I have this mold. Do you guys know what it is? Can you tell? This is a book mold. I saw a couple people do this quite a while ago and I thought that was the cutest mold ever. So I've had this for quite a while and I'm trying to get through all my new molds. So if you turn this inside out, see all those lines? Those are the pages of your book. And this is the spine, and the spine of the book has like little scroll marks as if it was an old book. And then this here is the lid, well, the cover, I should say, but the lid of, so it'll be a box when we're finished. And I have been wanting to do this for so long. The only thing I don't know what I'm gonna do is what I'm gonna put on the cover of the book. So I have to think of something a little witty maybe, and figure out the title of my book. So until then, and I'm gonna confer with Dawn, see what kind of ideas he might have for me, and go from there. But until then, this thing holds 8 ounces of resin total, completely 8, full 8. So I want the pages of my book to be done in my metallic powder antique gold. And I was going to find brown, like old leather, and I grabbed this one thinking it was brown. This is called plum. I have not used this one yet, and it is really like a deep purple. And I thought, ooh, those two might go together. Maybe I'll go a little out of the box from the brown normal and try the deep purple. So before I do that, I'm going to move this aside and turn it upside down. And we're going to paint the metallic mica powder on my pages. So I'm just going to take a brush and try my hardest. You know what I'm going to do? Maybe I'm going to try my alcohol trick today, because I don't want this getting all over my mica powder. Let me grab a little bit of alcohol in a cup. And let me grab a cup. I've got my alcohol. Let me just see how it goes on. Oh, that's not a good one. It's got glitter in it. Imagine that, glitter in it. Let me find one that's clean. Okay, here's a little tiny cup. And what you do is you just dip your brush in the alcohol and then in the mica powder. Let me put some in here. This might, oops, I've only done this one other time and it did go on. Of course it makes a mess. So you get your brush a little bit wet, dip it in your mica powder, and it kind of goes on like a paint. And then it'll dry. The only thing I don't know is if it's gonna leave a powder behind. That's what I'm trying to avoid, is all that powder that it leaves behind, because I can't get it out. So I might end up, I don't know. Now I don't know. I was so excited. Now I'm not sure if it's gonna like leave powder behind or not. So we're gonna find out, unfortunately. I hope I'm right. I hope it's gonna work. So you need the smallest amount. And what happens is the alcohol is going to evaporate and leave your mica powder right where you put it. So I think I'm gonna go right into there. It's going on beautiful. It's so much better than having like all that powder everywhere, because you know, I like doing it, but the cleanup just gets me. It's kind of a pain, but I do all the cleanup because I want the best job I can possibly have. If I'm gonna go through the trouble of it, then I'm gonna clean it up before I waste any resin on my projects. But I really like this going on like paint. It's beautiful. Isn't that pretty? Maybe this will be like the answer to all my problems. Well, you know what I mean. Wow. Have you guys tried this yet? If you have, and you have some tricks and tips for me, please leave them in the comments. Half the time, I don't even remember this trick until it's too late and I'm reading all your comments and it's like, oh, why didn't I think of that? That would have been so much easier. There are so many tricks out there that you guys tell me and then I completely and utterly forget when it comes time to needing them. So this is like a pretty simple, and I think it'll be pretty cute when we're done, as long as I can come up with a very creative title for the book. Give me some ideas of what I could title my book. If you were reading a book about glitz and glitter, what do you think it would be called? You guys have the best creative imaginations. So I think I'm asking the best people. Look at that, you guys. That was so easy. Oh my gosh, I have to clean up right there. All right. A little bit of alcohol. I wasn't getting away scot-free. I'm just going to clean this up. Try to get it all off, because you will see it. If you don't get it off, you will see it. That's what bugs me, is I know I'm going to see every speckle that I don't get off here right now. Okay, so flipping this back inside out makes me nervous too. So I'm going to try. Oh, look at that. That just happened. So maybe when it does dry, it still has powder. Oh man, am I going to be upset if that does that when I pour my resin? I need to get a Q-tip or something. Get this all out. So now I'm worried. Here I'm like, oh, it's working so wonderful. And then bam, surprise. Life is not that easy. Or that could have been just from where I first went in. I'm not sure. I'm going to find out when I turn this inside out. Oh goodness. Please, 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 please don't powder on me. Is there an easier way to do this? That is a good question. I'm trying so hard to be neat. Come on. Be nice to me. It's late. Oh, no. Okay. Well, yeah. I got some cleanup to do in here, as you could see. It rubbed on there. I'm going to try to touch it up. It's really not that bad, though. What I don't know is what's going to happen when I pour my resin. All right, let me put you on a pause while I finish cleaning this up, and then I'll get some resin mixed. Okay, so let me give you a little tip. Make sure when you're cleaning this mold, this was hard to do. I had to get a bunch of different paintbrushes and then one that fit perfectly down this side, because every time I moved it, it would touch and then I would have to clean it again. And then I kept cleaning and cleaning because the outside of my mold had mica powder on it and I thought it was the inside of the mold. So make sure the outside of your mold is clean as well, or you're going to be cleaning stuff that doesn't need to be cleaned. Okay, I am remembering today to put my mica powder in a tiny little cup. Instead of trying to mix it in my big cup, I'm going to mix it in this little amount to get kind of a paste, as if it was a pigment paste instead of a powder. This way, it's not harder to stir, you know what I mean? I complain about it all the time. And I always say, oh my gosh, I forgot again. Well, today I did not forget. And we are going to mix it in here really well. And then dump it in our resin and mix it. And then the powder won't be all over that huge cup. It's just all over this little one. And it's easier to stir it in the small one than it is in the big one. Evenly, I should say. This is a really, really pretty dark plum color. It might look black on the screen, I'm not sure. You can kind of see the purple. Okay, I think that's good, even though these little cups are not the best because they are ridged. Let me move. No, I don't want to move that. I'm not moving that. It will touch, and then I don't want to do it again. I'm just trying to get you guys to see everything I'm doing, especially for the new people. Then I'm going to pour it in here and mix it again. It's just going to be a better mix if you do it in a small cup. Or you can make your own pigment paste. I'm using my epoxy, and I literally had exactly to the drop, like I had this upside down, dripping till I hit 8 ounces. I only had 4 ounces of each one left. And I'm like, please, 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 I just need a few more drops. So I was patient and I got exactly 4 ounces out of each bottle. So that was perfect. See how you don't have powder all over the place in here? You just have a color. Oh, and that is a really, really pretty color. I think I made a good choice. The only problem with that is if you don't have enough mica in there, then you gotta pour it more in. I think I have enough. I think that is good. I can't see my stick. That is so pretty. I can't believe I haven't used this one yet. I literally just opened it. Okay, now all we're gonna do is pour everything. I'm going to actually, let me cap this before I spill it. I'm going to spray some alcohol into the lid because I'm a little nervous on all those edges and corners. So I'm just going to try to get that up underneath all that so little bubbles don't adhere to all these edges. So I will pour that first before my alcohol dries on me. Okay, here goes nothing. And then we just wait. Now hopefully, I measure my molds with water with the same cup that I'm using to mix it in by volume. That way I know exactly, where's that stick I'm looking for, how much by volume that I need. See that little bubble in there? I don't see any other ones. So I fill my cup the way I do it. I fill my cup to 8 ounces no matter what I'm trying to fill. And then I subtract what is left in the cup. And that's how many fluid ounces that I used. This is 99% alcohol. Just here to pop those top bubbles. Now I'm praying, why does it feel like this is not enough? Please don't tell me I need more. It's always so deceiving when you're pouring. See, no, I was right, 8 ounces. When you're pouring it in, it's like, oh no, you usually have extras. You guys know that. And I see some mica floating. I could have actually used a little bit more. I could have used, is that what I needed there? I could have used probably a ½ ounce more, but I'm not gonna bother with it. I'm gonna scrape everything. Look at that mica floating. I think what I'll do is mix it in. And maybe, just maybe, we'll never know it was there. See, that's what I was worried about, is the floating metallics. As long as it all came to the back here, then I don't care. We can get it all mixed in. I just don't want it all over the sides. All right, that's it for now. We're gonna let these cure overnight. It is quite late here. And we'll demold in the morning and come up with a title for our book and see what we're gonna have. Okay, it's time to unmold. Which one should we do first? Let's do the lid first. It looks easier. And hoping there's no bubbles. It's a pretty see-through mold. I mean, some landed on the back here because they can't escape that, but hopefully the top is okay. Look at all those bubbles. There's a ton of them on the back. But look at that color. That looks really pretty. You can kind of see the bubbles, but not too bad. Maybe when it's on the actual book, you won't be able to. All right. Let's see what we got here. Hopefully it's cute as I think it's gonna be. We've got gold pages. This is an adorable little box. All right, so what do we have? I have a sharp edge because I did not fill it all the way up. Pages came out nice. I probably shouldn't have put the gold all the way down, but I did. And here is the cover. There is some gold dust, like I said. I could not get it clean for the life of me perfectly. I wonder if I can put some acrylic paint in there and then wipe the rest off just to get that. Let's try it. First, well, yeah, I do need to, this is more than a filing because it's a little ledge here. So I'll trim it and then file it because that is sharp. I don't want anybody to, I've cut myself several times on these sharp edges, so I don't ever, well, I try not to. If I miss something, it is definitely not on purpose when I send something out because I know you can easily cut yourself. You can use a deburring tool as well. I just don't like them. It's just that little edge. That's why it is so important to try to dome your stuff. But it was late and I didn't feel like mixing up a ½ ounce of resin, which I should have. You could always sand this whole thing down to get the gold mica powder off, and then cover it with resin if you want to. If this was like an order, that's what I would be doing right now. But since it's not, and then grab your little file, just to help it knock that edge off. And then we'll wash it down. That's good. Let me find some acrylic paint paint and see if I can get that to work. I can't get that gold off, unfortunately. It's embedded in there. But I'm trying to see those little scroll marks. I'd like to highlight those, and I don't have a pen that thin. So let me see what I have. All right, I've got out my metallic gold acrylic paint. I did try a little bit, and it looks like it's gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is take this Q-tip and rub this gold paint into those crevices. And then wipe off the excess, and it should leave the rest. Yeah, see? Should leave the rest in there. So let me get this all done. Just don't rub too hard on this one because it's very shallow. I just rubbed some out of there. Let me get these all done. And then we will put our label. This is going to be a how-to book. So I've already created my decal on my Cricut. So as soon as this is finished, we'll get the decal on. It came out really good. Unfortunately, there's little bubbles that were created on the spine and the paint went in there as well. So now it just looks like an old book. If I had to do this again, I'm wondering if I put, because I don't generally run mica powdered resin through my vacuum chamber, but I think I'm going to start now because I think all these bubbles would not have been created if I would have ran it through my vacuum chamber prior to pouring. I'm just gonna clean off the top with some alcohol before I put my decal on. But yeah, I think that all those little micro bubbles would not be here. This needs to be trimmed as well. Did it fit on there? Yeah. I think it goes that way. Yeah, I wish I would have done that. I've never came across that problem, or I haven't noticed that problem by not running it through the vacuum chamber. So I think I'm just gonna add that step now to anything that I pour with mica powder because I don't like all those little micro bubbles from mixing all that powder in. Okay, so this is the right way. I think. Let me check the other way. Maybe it doesn't. Yes, there is a right and a wrong. This is the right way because it has this edge that hangs over just as much as this edge. So I am going to get my little title that I've printed out on my Cricut, and we are going to make my how-to book. Just going to, I don't know if I'm going to embellish it anymore. And I will show you what I have done. Oh, you probably can already see it through all this. So this is a how-to. Of course I needed glitter in the title. And this is what I came up with. This is a permanent vinyl, so because I'm not going to be going over this with any resin or anything. There we are. How to add glitter in my veins and Jesus in my heart. There it is. So I think I will do something. Let me come up with a little plan. This is an adorable little thing. There are endless possibilities. Give me some ideas of what my title can be if I make this again. Maybe some color schemes. Let me see if I can add some sparkle to the top, make it a little more interesting. that's it. I didn't go too crazy with the rhinestones. I did add a couple down. You can barely see them. I did use gold just to blend in. So there's 4 on the back. And I just highlighted the edges and the little stars and the eye on the glitter. I think I'm going to leave it like that. Let me know what you think. I think it's adorable. All right, you guys, stay tuned for the final pictures. I know I don't have any leftovers today. Wow, that's amazing. So you're going to just get a few pictures today. Thanks for coming in, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate every one of you. You guys all have a blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Bye.